Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for yesterday by Ogden Ash. A is for Alex, the great Alexander. More goose eggs he pitched than a popular gander. B is for Bresnahan, back of the plate. The Cubs were his love and McGraw his hate. C is for Cobb, who grew spikes, not corn, and made all the basemen wish they weren't born. D is for Dean, the grammatical diz. When they asked who's the tops, said correctly I is. E is for Evers, his jaw in advance, never afraid to tinker with chance. F is for Fordham, and Frankie and Fish. I wish he were back with the Giants, I wish. G is for Gehrig, the pride of the stadium. His record pure gold, his courage pure radium. H is for Hornsby. When pitching to Raj, the pitcher would pitch, then the pitcher would dodge. I is for me, not a hard-hitting man, but an outstanding all-time, incurable fan. J is for Johnson, the big train in his prime, was so fast he could throw 3 strikes at a time. K is for Keeler, as fresh as green paint, the fastest and mostest to hit where they ain't. L is for LaHoy, whom Clevelanders love, Napoleon himself with glue in his glove. M is for Matty, who carried a charm in the form of an extra brain in his arm. N is for Newsom, Bobo's favorite Ken. You ask how he's here, he talked himself in. O is for Ott, of the restless right foot. When he leaned on the pellet stay put. P is for Plank, the arm of the A's. When he tangled with Matty, games lasted for days. Q is for Don Quixote, Cornelius Mack. Neither Yankees nor years can halt his attack. R is for Ruth, to tell you the truth. There's no more to be said, just R is for Ruth. S is for Speaker, swift center field tender. When the ball saw him coming, it yelled, I surrender. T is for Terry, the giant from Memphis, whose 400 average you can't overemphasize. U would be Ubel if Carl were a Cockney, but we say Hubble in baseball like football in Rockney. V is for Vance, the Dodgers' very own Dazzy. None of his rivals could throw as fast as he. W, Wagner, the bow-legged beauty, short, close to all traffic with Honus on duty. X is the first of 2 X's in Fox, who was right behind Ruth with his powerful socks. Y is for Young, the magnificent sigh. People battled against him, but I never knew why. Z is for Zenith, the summit of fame. These men are up there. These men are the game. Lineup for yesterday, Ogden Ash, January 1949, Sport Magazine. That's not what happened, buddy. Lineup for Braves Country by D.M. McGee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw whines and kicks. changing speeds east and west, a gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright, the father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play, Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones, Andrew let her fly, and his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts, a plenty from Strider, the quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez, Javi to B-Mac, Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog, he won 355, could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro, he got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis, old Nixon could fly, the catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson, we were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking, the top pitcher's lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy, the big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler, Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren, Skip Carey 2, Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren, spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni, yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying, it felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee, to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024.
like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Green. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Nationals Park in your nation's capital, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. 11 home runs, 37 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .245. Batting second, playing right, Jorge Soler. 17 home runs, 54 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .229. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 37 home runs, 98 RBI, a .305 average. Batting cleanup, playing first, Matt Olson. .237 average with 81 RBI, 25 home runs. Batting fifth and playing short, it's Orlando Arcia. 16 home runs, 42 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .222. Batting sixth, your left fielder, Ramon Laureano. He's batting .254 now with 8 home runs, 25 RBI, 7 stolen bases. Behind home plate, batting seventh, Sean Murphy. He's got a .209 average, 9 home runs, 22 RBI. And batting eighth, Calvin Biggio, who was added to the roster as Luke Williams has been sent back to the Gwinnett roster. Biggio, 5 home runs, 19 RBI, 2 stolen bases, a .197 average. And batting ninth is Gio Urshela. He's got a .244 average with 5 home runs, 42 RBI. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Max Fried Day. He's 9-8 with a .335 ERA, a .119 whip. 147 innings pitched and 138 strikeouts versus 125 hits allowed, 51 walks, 12 home runs. He'll be going head-to-head with Jake Irvin, who spun a gem the last time he saw the Atlanta Braves. He's 9-12 on the year with a .428 ERA. A 1.21 whip, 166 innings pitched, 158 hits allowed, 140 strikeouts, 43 walks, 26 home runs served. Backing up Irvin in the bottom of the first inning, leading off the shortstop, C.J. Abrams. 19 home runs, 64 RBI, 28 stolen bases, batting .237. Dylan Cruz, batting second, playing right. He's got a .200 average and 50 at-bats, 3 home runs, 6 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Chaparro, the designated hitter, batting third, a .250 average with 4 home runs, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base. And James Wood is batting cleanup, playing left. 5 home runs, 33 RBI, 12 stolen bases, batting .273. Batting fifth, playing first, Yepes. He's got a .282 average with 5 home runs, 22 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Tanya is playing second tonight, batting sixth. 2 home runs, 12 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .302. Ruiz is behind home plate and batting seventh. 13 home runs, 49 RBI, a .225 average with 2 stolen bases. Vargas is at third and batting eighth. 1 home run, 29 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .261. While Young is in center field and batting ninth. 3 home runs, 34 RBI, 31 stolen bases, a .257 average. Calling balls and strikes tonight behind home plate. Your umpire is Ryan Additon. First base will be manned by Gabe Morales. Second base, Chris Guccione. And down the third base line, it's Eric Backus. Game time temperatures here, Nationals Park, are expected to be in the high 70s at first pitch, with the wind blowing out to left center at about 9 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves come in 13 games over 500 at 79-66, 39-35 on the road. The Washington Nationals are 64-80, 32-38 at home. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 180 on the money line. The over-under 7.5. Run line minus 1.5 at a minus 105. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Nats Game 2 of a 2-game set. Your Atlanta Braves looking for the sweep in our nation's capital. Our pick to click tonight against Jake Irvin will stick with the hot hand of Ramon Laureano. He won the game ball last night and went 3 for 5. He's 1 for 2 lifetime against tonight's starting pitcher. Braves exploded in last night's game with a 12-0 victory. But we're hoping for the best. Jake Irvin has pitched Atlanta well in the past, though we have gotten to him once before. Give me the Atlanta Braves on the back of Max Fried and company to slam the door on this 2-game series and win it 5-1. We got the Max Fried emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members, and the sleeping snit emoji as well. It's time to warm up those chop arms, Country Club. Braves Country, get your game face on. This would be an enormous 2-game sweep on the road before we head back home for a tough test against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good evening, Braves Country. Before we get started, we do want to take a moment of silence to remember those fallen on 9/11. Thank you, and never forget.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. We're just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Game 2 of a 2-game set. Braves have tomorrow off, and then we head back to Atlanta for a big 4-game series against the Los Angeles Dodgers in Atlanta. So let's go ahead and get into roll call real quick. We're just about set. Washington Nationals will be wearing their home blue tops with the white pants. Nationals classic logo on the front of the cap. Braves once again in their road grays with Atlanta across the chest in red. Blue ball caps, white A's. Good evening, the Beef, Country Club member, Daniel, Daryl, John. Good evening, Country Club member, Barry, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch on the way from Irvin is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. As soon as they get it kicking, we'll have the 3D going as well, the 0-1. Up high, misses wide, 1-1. Good evening, Gary, Mess 63. AY, Country Club member, the 1-1 swung on and belted down the right field line, but just foul. I mean, just foul 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Good evening. See who we've missed here. Jonathan. Mark, the 1-2, misses high, 2-2. Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. Billy, Country Club member. Good to see y'all. The 2-2 from Harris. Swung on, just got a piece of that to stay alive. It was essentially a swing and a miss, but just got a piece of it, and Ruiz couldn't hold on. We'll do it again. Good evening, JC, Country Club member. Good to see you. See if I've missed anybody. I think that Nathaniel Brooks, Country Club member. I think that's everybody so far. If not, just jump in the chat. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Chase one well out of the zone. Strikeout to start the game. And he chased that one well out of the zone. That wasn't even close. Maybe 3 to 4 inches high out of the zone. So one down. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler is inside, called for a strike. Soler cannot believe it. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way. Right there for a strike again, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. They tried to go the same place back to back to back. That time he missed. 1-2. Braves nothing, Nats nothing. The 1-2 from Irvin, his 10th pitch of the evening, turns and fires. Soler digs in, swung on. That ball's hit hard on the ground over to the right side of the infield. It's going to be a 3-1 put out to away. That should just about line us up. Two down, top of the first. Early start time for these, 6:45. That'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna, righty-righty, first pitch on the way, 96 up top. Misses high, it's 1-0. Ozuna, now about 20 games since he's hit a home run. Still batting .305 on the year. The 1-0. 95 misses high, 2-0. You'll see a 5-pitch mix from Cole Irvin. The four-seam and the curve come in at about 60% of the time, 70% of the time combined, and then he mixes in 3 others. The sinker, the 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. He'll throw that sinker about 19% of the time, and then the cutter and the change, 7 and 4 respectively, just to keep you honest. The 2-1 to Ozuna. Misses down and away, 3-1. Ozuna, 37 home runs, 98 RBI, a 940 OPS. By far the offensive MVP for the Braves here in 2024. You'd like to see him start hitting them out again. We're going to need it down the stretch. The 3-1 pitch. Swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground, but right at Abrams. CJ flips it over to first. 6-3 put out. 1, 2, 3. The Atlanta Braves go in order. We head to the bottom of the first here in Braves country.
I've been feeling kind of down today, so I'm just going to go to the gas station, let the crackheads tell me I look like Beyonce. You may not see it, but them see it, especially for $2.
Hey, Braves country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, play-by-play, the classic call of Braves country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
He never complained, never alibied. He was never known to criticize a teammate or call an opposing ball player lucky. He accepted his great success modestly and the many vicissitudes of his life in silence. He was easy to like and hard to know. New York World Telegram.
If Walter Johnson and Christy Mathewson had a challenger for the title of best pitcher in baseball, it was a troubled young right-hander named Grover Cleveland Alexander, a Nebraska farm boy, the son and grandson of alcoholics, and one of 13 children. He had honed his startling accuracy by hurling rocks to kill birds to help feed his family. He was a minor league star at 22 when a shortstop's throw to first hit him squarely between the eyes. He was unconscious for 2 days, then stricken with double vision. He kept throwing anyway, and after months of relentless work, his vision suddenly and mysteriously cleared, though he remained subject to epileptic seizures for the rest of his life.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. C.J. Abrams is swung on, knocked down the line into the glove of Olson. He'll step on the pillow, one away. Max Fried, 9-8 with a 3.35 ERA, 2.28 opponent's average against, 138 strikeouts, 51 walks. Set to face the rookie Dylan Cruz, lefty-righty matchup. Max Fried brings it 91 miles an hour right down the pipe on the inner cut. It's 0-1. Braves nothing, Nats nothing. The 0-1. High in the zone, called for a strike. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Max Fried comes set, brings a way high bending curveball out of the zone, 1-2. His last start, he had a hard time commanding that curveball. Let's hope this is not a replay of just that. The 1-2. 95 high and inside, 2-2. You missed the news earlier. Ronaldo Lopez to the 15-day IL after last night's injury, the 2-2. Changeup just misses outside, full count. They brought Hernandez in to add to the bullpen, but that won't be the last move they'll make this week on it. The payoff pitch, swing, and that ball's ripped into left field, down for a base hit, and it's a one-out single for the Nationals. Good hard hit ball into left field. One on, one out. Trouble brewing already here in the bottom of the first. Here comes Chaparro, the designated hitter. He takes the first pitch, down and in, 94 mile an hour four-seamer. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Fried. Kicks and fires, swung on, chops it over to third. It's going to be a 5, 4, 3, inning-ending, rally-killing double play. So just like that, it goes Gio to the new guy, Biggio to Olson. Max has a smile on his face. We had to break, tied at 0.
Nowadays, y'all have Miley Cyrus telling you to buy your own flowers. I support that. That's great. But I had Carrie Underwood telling me to slash his tires in his car. Catch a charge, that's okay. That's okay, but he learned his lesson. He can have that girl with her fruity little drink.
Today we're going to talk about the career of Mickey Mantle. In almost 2 decades, he compiled a lifetime OPS plus of 172. This puts him 7th best all time. He won the league home run title 4 times and the league slugging title 4 times. He hit 300 or better in 10 seasons. He was a 20-time All-Star, had 3 MVPs, won 1 batting title, 1 Triple Crown, and also won a Gold Glove. He played in 12 World Series during a 14-year stretch. Mantle would help the Yankees win 7 titles in his career. He is the only switch hitter to hit 50 home runs, and he did it twice. The 1951 World Series, Mantle would trip over an exposed drainage pipe while attempting to catch a fly ball. In 1969, it was determined that Mantle had played all of those years with a torn ACL in his knee without having it repaired. Mantle finished his career with a .298 batting average, 536 home runs, 1,509 RBIs, and had 2,415 hits.
Alexander stormed into the majors in 1911, striking out 227 men for the Philadelphia Phillies in his very first season. He would win 30 or more games 3 seasons in a row. He pitched 4 one-hitters in 1915 and 90 shutouts during his long career. He was utterly businesslike on the mound, throwing an arsenal of pitches with pinpoint accuracy. Game after game, he'd pitch in an hour and a half, a teammate recalled. No fussing around, no stalling, no wasted motion. Even the men he struck out so consistently liked him. Between games, he was modest, good-humored, and kept mostly to himself. But then he began to drink.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Matt Olson, the batter. Righty-lefty matchup. 25 home runs on the year. Takes a mighty hack at the first pitch. On the 1-0, it's swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to Olson. 81 RBI, 757 OPS. The 1-1 fouled back. 1-2. New York Mets won earlier today. A colossal collapse by Toronto. The 1-2. High and inside, 2-2. Bowden Francis of the Blue Jays had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. So they let the youngster go back out there and see what he could do. He gave up a solo shot to Lindor. They went and got Green out of the bullpen and ended up unraveling, losing. I believe last score I saw was like 6-1, 7-1. Is ridiculous. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3, blew it right by Olson. Slow bat, 1 away. One down, and Orlando Arcia is batting 5th tonight. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. 95 outside wide. 1-0. The 1-0 brings it. 96 off the plate. 2-0. Lando Arcia batting just .222 on the year, 16 home runs. Not really the ideal number 5 hitter. The 2-0 from Irvin. The right-hander brings it. Swung on. That ball's hit in over to third. Coming in, charging the play. He'll get the slow-footed Arcia by about 3 steps. Vargas to Yepes, 2 down. See someone asking... Mark's asking, is Biggio related? Yes, Biggio's the son of Craig Biggio. He's been a bust. He at one point was one of the top prospects in baseball. Originally a Toronto Blue Jay. They kicked him over to the Dodgers earlier this year, and the Dodgers released him pretty early. He's kind of bounced around this year. The 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Of course, Craig Biggio, the Hall of Fame second baseman. Of course, he was always surrounded by controversy with the PEDs, him and the rest of the Killer Bees in Houston. The 2-0. Swing! That ball's lifted into left field. That ball's going back on the track, making the running catch is Wood. Speaking of PEDs, Laureano flies out to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second, the middle of the order due up for the Nats.
This guy looked at me and he said B12. And I turned around and looked to see if he was even talking to me, and I just went, huh? And he was like, oh, my bad. I thought you was a vending machine because you a snack. And I was like, bro, your card has been declined. And he was like, see, that's the thing about vending machines. Sometimes you have to bang them a few times and get your money's worth.
That reminds me, I had a dream about your sister yesterday. My sister? Yeah. What do you mean dream? What kind of dream? A sex dream. Oh, that's my sister we're talking about.
You're having sex with my sister in reality.
But that's my wife. I got a contract with the priest. You're having premarital sex dreams.
I did want to touch upon a couple things, but one major thing, Kate, you were MIA all day yesterday. You were offline. I didn't see you in any of the meetings I needed you in. Where were you?
It was Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday, which is a work day.
No, it's winter. So like summer Fridays, we get winter Mondays.
Okay, you guys, you know what? Clearly team building exercises is not working, and I am up to my wits' end.
Future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols pitched in a game for the first time in his career. His pitching debut came in his 2,988th career game, which breaks the old record by over 500 games. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina, together they broke the record for most wins by a battery in MLB history with 203 wins together.
The greatest competitions, I think, in sports is the pitcher and the hitter. Now, I'm going to hit this ball. See, right now, I'm going to be better than you. And this pitcher's saying the same thing. I'm going to be better than you at this particular moment. This is in a pressure situation. So, and you are competing, and it's nobody can help you. Nobody can block for you in this. You got to do it on your own.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Max Fried to the left-handed bat of Wood is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1. Looked like he went around. He did as the ball dove down towards the bottom of the plate. 0-2. So it was inflammation in his shoulder. There's no structural damage on Ronaldo Lopez. That's the good news, is the 0-2 down and away. 1-2. The bad news is, best case scenario, he would not be eligible to come back until September 26th, which would be the final series of the season, missing the Mets series altogether. The 1-2 swung on, chopped over towards first. Olsen's got to hustle. He'll get there in time. One away. Or excuse me, I guess in theory, if he comes back on the 26th, he would be available for the final game of the Mets-Braves. How likely that is, that's another story. But in theory, he could come back on that Thursday. First pitch on the way, 94 inside. It's 1-0. We went over all the different possibilities last night, so I won't do that again to you. But essentially, you're going to see all hands on deck the next few weeks. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. 2-0 count. There hasn't been much of any talk about Ozzie other than everything's going fine, but to put a lid on that is the 2-0 swung on, lifted into left field. That ball is down for a base hit. Smokes it up against the wall. Here he comes rounding second. He got him. Gunned him down. Great throw by Laureano. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. That man was a center fielder, a right fielder, Gold Glove caliber, and he guns down the runner trying to stretch it into two. That was a perfect play off the wall. He had no time to get there. Showing the replay a few times, but he definitely... Great tag applied, by the way, by Biggio. Right on the front foot. First pitch on the way. That ball is slapped into left field. Down for a base hit. It's a 2-out single for Tania. That kid Tania continues to be a very good base hitter. So that throw by Laureano's already saved a run for sure, because that ball right there would have been deep enough to send the runner with 2 outs. Lefty-righty matchup. Now with Ruiz, you got to watch him. He can go yard. First pitch on the way. 93 on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's laced into left field. That ball's going to get up against the wall. Here comes Laureano firing the ball into the infield. They'll hold up the runners. But you got runners on second and third, and Max Fried is getting slapped around. He's getting way too much of the plate on these last few at-bats. I mean, that pitch was right down Main Street. He's lucky Ruiz only put it up against the wall. That's usually the type of pitch that Ruiz sends out of the stadium. So second and third, still 2 outs. Vargas the batter. First pitch on the way, curveball, top of the zone on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. In the dirt, ball gets away. Murph has to slide over there as Max Fried covers the plate. The runner will stay put. Murph was set up correctly to block it. It just bounced off his chest. Right in the breadbasket and bounced off the... If Tanya would have had a better jump, he probably tries to make it. The 1-1 swing, chops it foul off his foot, stumbling around. It's 1-2. But as far as the Ozzie thing, they haven't said anything. But at the same token, this was the spot where they were saying they thought he would be back. Everything was going well. Well, that evidently was not reported right, because here we are. We don't even have an announcement on as the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Max gets out of it. Woo! We get out of that one. We'll head to the top of the third. More on Ozzie and the rest of the MASH unit when we come back.
How'd you like to go out for dinner on Friday? Just you and me.
Why?
Because you're my wife.
I was your wife last Friday and we didn't go to dinner.
Mary, I'm asking you on a date.
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Sure.
All right, then.
If you did something stupid, I'm going to find out.
A minor league prospect got cut from the Yankees for a very weird reason. Jake Sanford was recently released from the Yankees system for allegedly stealing his teammates' equipment and selling it online. He's also alleged to have promised fans autographed items and never delivering. Sanford was picked in the 3rd round of the 2019 draft by the Yankees as an outfielder. He was given a $600,000 signing bonus, making the alleged theft even more weird. According to anonymous teammates, Sanford would repeatedly hound them for their equipment or would just take it from their locker. A rumor for this behavior is that Sanford may have had gambling debts.
I'm glad I played in the 80s because it was more that you could feel and hold and grab, and sometimes it'd be low in scoring games, but sometimes you score 130 points, so you didn't know going in what kind of game it was going to be.
One thing I've learned about being on a job site, if you're the one that walks around the fastest, they'll think you're the most productive.
Hitting alone will not win ball games. I want speed on my team, and I also want every man on the squad to know how to slide. I intend to have my players taught how to run. I don't say we will win any pennants, but I do think that my systematic training will be laying the foundation of a pennant winner. If this is theory, it is blamed good practical theory. Branch Rickey.
He was Leonardo in baseball. He did everything. He was artist and scientist and genius of a million kinds. He invented the farm systems. He devised ways of playing the game and of training players that had never before been considered.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves won last night 12-0. We talked about it last night, but you're really hoping they would save some of those runs for tonight. Irvin goes back to work. First pitch on the way to Murphy. He's right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. We're in the top of the third. Irvin, very low pitch count so far, 27. The 0-1. Swung on, broken bat over to the first base side. They'll get the slow-footed Murphy by a few steps, stepping on the bag. G3 in your scorecard, 1 away. Braves bats better wake up because the LA Dodgers are coming, and they are starting to get fully healthy. So we'll be seeing Shohei and Freeman. Mookie's healthy again. First pitch on the way to the newcomer, Kevin Biggio. Nickname is Biggie, so I've got a feeling we'll be calling him Biggie Smalls. He's a little guy, the 0-1. Curveball right there on the intercut. 0-2. This year with Toronto and Los Angeles, he hit 197, 5 home runs and a 622 OPS, so he'll fit right in with this bunch. The 0-2. 94 inside, caught looking, strike 3. Man, Kevin Seitzer got to him early. He taught him how to take that called third strike to away. Our hitting coach, man, he works wonders. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Unbelievable that he just took that. So 2 down. Gio Urshela. First pitch on the way. Right down the pipe, first strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Swung on, fouls back 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Irvin's cruising, taking the Braves to school once again. We'll be back in a flash. 0-0 in Washington.
Hey, besties. I'm going on a little trip to Rock Bottom. Does anybody want anything?
Why are you crying?
I was on your computer and I found a file that says My Documents.
Oh my god.
And I don't understand why it doesn't say Our Documents.
Are you serious? Come on. Get out of here.
Why is it not us?
Oh my god.
She left me. She left me, Dad.
I'm sorry.
After all we've been through.
I don't know what
I trusted her.
I know, buddy.
And she left me.
I know,
This hurts so bad.
I know.
And it's like she doesn't even care.
Listen, Amy is only...
Amy?
Yeah, Amy. Who are you talking about?
My Uber driver. This heifer left talking about I'm taking too long. I said, bitch, I'm on my...
You know, I just want it to be said that you can go your whole life without doing drugs, drinking, gambling, swearing, just live the best life you could, and then wind up in hell for judging those that did.
Branch Rickey graduated from Ohio Wesleyan University, struggled as a catcher for a few years in the major leagues, got a law degree but failed to drum up any clients, gratefully returned to baseball, working for the St. Louis Browns, one of the poorest teams in the majors. He moved up quickly within the organization, scout, club secretary, and in 1913, manager. Rickey was a genius at making do with less. He approached his job scientifically, introducing unusual calisthenics, batting cages, and sliding pits.
No ball player can learn to steal bases by practicing sliding into sand pits. I wouldn't ask a veteran to slide into a pit. I don't think much of this theory stuff. Miller Huggins.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball here on Braves Country Radio. Max Fried goes back to work. The first pitch on the way, curveball, whoa, way outside. Murphy had to slide over there and backhand it. The 1-1. Young batting .257 with 3 home runs. Pitch on the way. Chop foul. 1-2. 1-2 count. It's the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. The 1-2. Brings it. Chopped down the third base line. Just foul. Do it again, 1-2. was a little surprised that I guess they were playing the lefty-righty thing, but a little surprised that Biggio wasn't the number 9 hitter. I mean, coming in hitting batting 197 on the year and a terrible OPS. Like, I don't understand why Gio's at the very bottom. The 1-2 from Fried. Lifts his glove and brings it. 94 on the inside track, 2-2. And once again, like, I don't know what Ramon Laureano has to do to get hit above Smurf and Arcia, but he gives much better bats. The 2-2 hits the batter, gives a free base away. 1 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Young didn't do much to get out of the way. He just kind of stuck his chicken wing out there, and with all the padding that he had, he'll gladly take first. You got to keep an eye on Young. 31 stolen bases on the year. First pitch on the way from Fried. Flips it over to first to keep Young close by. It's his first move. Young leaning towards first. Max uses his second move. So now he's out of moves. So there's that going on. If he goes over there again, he's got to either get him or it's a balk. Lefty-lefty matchup. Max brings it. The ball's chopped foul. I think it got a piece of Murphy. He's kind of bent over for a second. Appears to be okay. Mets have already won, so they're a half game up on Atlanta. Once again, Toronto really spit the bit on that one. No hitter going into the 9th. And not only do they give the solo shot to Francisco Lindor, then the reliever comes in. He can't get anybody out. So the Mets have a half-game lead on Atlanta as this game begins tonight. Arizona also won going away. Last time I saw that was 14-4 in late innings. The 0-1 for Max. Looks over at first, brings it. Sweeper right there on the outer edge. 0-2. So with the wild card standings look right now, the Braves are a half game out of the final spot. They would tie it up if they win tonight. They are 2.5 behind San Diego and Arizona. The 0-2 swung on, lifted over towards second, and that ball is going to be scooped by Biggio. Cannot get it over to first in time, and it's an infield single for Abrams. Dragged it over to the right side of the infield. Biggio had to make a sliding play. Not a very accurate throw. A little high, but I don't think he was going to get Abrams anyways. Abrams beats it out. It'll be a infield single. Runner at first and second now. Nobody out. And you got to be aware of the double steal. They've done it before on Murphy. We saw it earlier in the year with Young and Abrams on. They're not afraid to pull the small ball. Dylan Cruz, who's 1-for-1, digs in. First pitch from Fried. Sweeper on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Braves nothing, Nats nothing. Bottom of the third. The infield is back into the left, but in double play depth. The 0-1 to Cruz. In the dirt. 1-1. Standing on deck is the designated hitter, number 3 hitter, Chaparro. Wood is in the hole. Max Fried, 34 pitches. So not terribly high. The 1-1 swing ripped into right field. That's down for a base hit. Dylan Cruz now 2 for 2 against Max Fried, and it's 1-0 Washington. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it got all of the plate. So runners on the corners, nobody out. Chaparro, the designated hitter, stands in. First pitch on the way is a curveball. Gets a friendly call. We'll take it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 brings it in the dirt. Did he go around? He did not. 1-1. One count. Max comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball slapped over to third. Just foul. Hard hit ball. Just couldn't keep it fair. Well out in front. 1-2. Chaparro 0 for 1 on the day. The 1-2 brings it. Curveball swung on, chopped foul towards the third base dugout. We'll do it again. Chaparro grounded into a double play his last time up. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the Uncle Charlie down below the knees. What a way. Big out number 1. That'll bring Wood to the plate. He grounded out to first his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup. Max brings it. 95 well outside wide, 1-0. The 1-0. Yepes stands on deck. Remember, he's the one that hit that, what would be double if it wasn't for Ramon. The 1-0 swung on, chopped back towards the mound. Max can't handle it. Would have been an easy flip to first, but instead, they'll either give it an infield single, most likely, but it's 2-0 Washington. Ball was chopped back, and Max, weird shovel attempt to try to make the play as he turned around. Just couldn't get a handle on it. Now you got runners on first and second. 2-0 your score. And Yepes, the batter, he smoked one into the left field corner his first time up. Ramon Laureano threw him out at second. First pitch on the way, curveball down below the knees. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Curveball misses, 2-0. 2-0 count. 2-0 your score. Max Fried now at 44 pitches. Should have the majority of the bullpen that you could unload tonight, because even with that game turning into a bullpen game last night, we used the front end, not the back end of the bullpen. We have a day off tomorrow as well. Max turns around and spins towards first, but does not throw, but it will be counted as a move. The 2-0 pitch. 85 on the outer edge, 2-1. Juan Yepes 1 for 1 with a single and then gunned down at second trying to stretch it into a double. The pitch, swing, chops it back towards third again. Once again, Max can't make the play. It's another infield single, and the bases are loaded, 1 out. Goes any chance he has of a Gold Glove. Another just dribbler right past the mound, and the way he finishes off, he's leaning too far to the right, to his right, heading towards third base. He can't corral it. A double play could get you out of the jam, but Max Fried does not look good tonight. 2-0 your score. Murphy goes out there to talk to him, but yet still no sign from any of the coaching staff. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tanya, who's 1 for 1. Max brings it, swung on, chop foul, curveball. It's 0-1. Baltimore and Boston are scoreless in the second. Yankees and Royals are scoreless. They're in the second. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Braves are playing for the double play. Some bad luck balls by hit on Max Fried in this inning. Normally you get those low contact balls, they turn into easy outs. Instead, they've dribbled into the infield. The 0-2, curveball in the dirt. Good block by Sean Murphy to keep the runners at bay. Angels and Twins 1-1 in the first. Later on tonight, the Padres are at the Mariners. That's a big game for the Braves. So they're trying to chase down the Padres as well. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 away. So he struck out 2 in the inning here. Max Fried, 3 strikeouts all day long, but he's given up 7 base hits. Though 3 of them have been dribblers, he has given up 7 base hits in just 2 2/3. That'll bring Ruiz to the plate. Ruiz doubled to left his last time up. First pitch on the way. Curveball, call it the sweeper up top, 0-1. Later on tonight, if you're up late, not only is the San Diego-Seattle game going on, you got Milwaukee at San Francisco, and the Cubs are in Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. The 0-1. Curveball down and away, 1-1. Earlier today, the Guardians beat the White Sox 6-4. Tampa Bay trails Philadelphia 2-1. They are in the third. Max steps off the rubber. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 1-1 from Max. Swing, chops it foul, 1-2. Max now a strike away from getting out of this jam. Max Fried at 53 pitches. This will be his 54th incoming. The 1-2 from Fried brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So he strikes out the side, but has hits galore. He's eating onions and spotting dimes. We'll be back in a flash.
Oh my God, a promotion? I never thought I'd see the day. What are you talking about?
Oh, is that not why I'm here?
Not even
To give me a raise?
No, God, your PTO was denied. Okay?
Oh, okay. I should have known. Well, it wasn't a request anyways.
What?
Oh, I wasn't asking for permission. What am I, 12? Well, you can't take it during that time because you know what PTO stands for? Yeah, paid time. Prepare the others. T, I give you a heads up. You're welcome. That's not how it works. I will not be here. Veronica, we're not done here. Good chat. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Hello?
Hi, is Mark there?
Yeah?
It's me, Shannon. We met at Jack's party.
Yeah! How can I forget? Wow, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in,
9 months.
Armchair.
Brian, we can't hear you.
I'm mute.
Sorry, I'm a little perplexed because I thought this was our virtual happy hour, so I don't know what. Right?
No, this is our morning check-in. This is not a virtual happy hour.
Okay, well, I already opened it, so I don't know what you want me to do with it now, but.
We can both see and hear you. So, Amanda, I think we need to get HR on the phone.
Yep, I totally agree. Kate, you can actually hop off this call if you want.
I am drinking that.
Ricky barred profanity and poker playing and liquor. Offered evening lectures on baseball theory called Skull Sessions. Keeping a promise to his mother, managed just 6 days a week, leaving an assistant to take over for him on Sundays. In 1919, the Browns' crosstown rivals, the hapless St. Louis Cardinals, offered him a still bigger job as general manager at double the salary. He would spend the next 23 years with the Cardinals, and in the process, profoundly change the game of baseball.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Michael Harris II will lead us off. Braves trail 2-0, but it could be a lot worse. Max Fried has looked terrible so far if you're just joining us. First pitch right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Hopefully he can get it together the next few innings. Swung on, fouled straight back. It's 0-2. Harris struck out in the first. Batting .245 on the year, .659 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup, the 0-2. High and out of the zone, 1-2. Standing on deck is Soler. In the hole, Marcell Ozuna. The 1-2 from Irvin. Swings and brings it. Swing. That ball's lifted over towards third. Soft line drive. L5 in your scorecard. One away. One down. Jorge Soler, who's 0 for 1, comes to the plate. First pitch to Jorge is 94 on the intercut. It's 0-1. Last time we saw Irvin, he went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. The 0-1 down away, 1-1. That was back on August 24th. He also walked 3 Braves batters. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. This is the third time we've seen him since June 7th, where he went 6 innings as the 1-2, foul back, straight back. We'll do it again. He went 6 innings of no earned run ball, allowed just 4 hits. He walked 2 in that. We met him in late May as well. So this is the 4th time all year that we've seen Irvin, and he's pretty much pitched the Braves well every single time. Back on May 28th, he went 6 innings of no run ball. So a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, down and away, 2-2. The hope would be more you see a pitcher, the better looks you get, but Braves have yet to crack that code. The 2-2, way outside wide, ball 3-2. In fact, that ball goes to the backstop. The payoff pitch. 1 down, Nobody on, top of the fourth. Brings it. Outside wide, ball 4. So Jorge Soler works his way aboard. Good at bat by Jorge. He'll head on down to first, and Marcell Ozuna represents the tying run. The Yankees are at home today. It's a little strange that New York, that the Mets weren't at home either. You would think they would have both teams at home on the anniversary of 9/11. First pitch on the way to Ozuna, 94 misses wide, 1-0. The 1-0. Righty, pitch on the way, swung on, hit over to short. It's going to be a 6-4-3 inning ending, rally killing double play. Ozuna swung at a pitch he never should have, and he knows it. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the fourth we go, trailing by 2.
Listen, if you feed your kid frozen pizza or chicken nuggets for dinner, you are a terrible parent. I don't care what it takes. You take the time out and you put that in the microwave.
Today we're going to talk about the career of Rod Carew. He made his major league debut April 11, 1967. He had a career-high 5 hits against Washington on May 8, 1967. On May 20th, 1967, he became the first Minnesota Twins player to hit for the cycle. All of these things happened in his first 2 months in the major leagues. He was an 18-time All-Star. He only missed 1 All-Star game in his career. In 1969, he stole home 7 times. Only Ty Cobb has stolen home more in 1 season. He hit 300 or better from 1969 to 1983. He never struck out 100 times in a season. He won 7 batting titles in his career and 4 straight from 1972 to 1975. He would miss out on a 5th straight batting title by .002. He led the American League in hits 3 times in his career. Over his 19-year career, he batted .328, had 3,053 hits, scored 1,424 runs, stole 353 bases, and had a .393 on-base percentage. He also won an MVP award in 1977. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1991 with 90.5% of the vote.
America's entry into World War I was very near in the spring of 1917. Millions had died on battlefields in Europe, and Americans could no longer stand by. Baseball was eager to show that it was ready to do its part. Van Johnson ordered teams to learn close order drill, and the Washington Senators showed off their marching skill, led by the athletic young Assistant Secretary of the Navy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Fried goes back to work. First pitch on the way, roasted over to third. Good play by Gio. That ball was scalded. L5 in your scorecard, 1 down. They are sitting dead red on him tonight. Gio didn't have to move much, but that ball was hit right on the screws. 1 down. Showing bunt, takes a fastball all the way up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Young, who got hit by a pitch his first time up, probably looking to do the same. He hasn't fared well against Max over his career, but just trying to get on to cause havoc. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Changeup misses. 2-1. Fried swung on. That ball's chopped over to third. Arceus got it, flips it to first. 6-3 in your scorecard. 2 away. It's a pretty big play on the other end of that, too, because if Max could get a quick inning here, not just getting a 1-2-3, but not having a long at bats, he might be able to get himself right. First pitch on the way to Abrams. Foul back for a strike. It's 0-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. The 0-1 from Max. In the dirt. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Max brings it. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep into center field. That ball's gone. Max Fried giving up another tater. It's 3-0 Washington. Got way too much of the plate. Ball was center cut. About letter high. And C.J. Abrams shoves it over the center field wall. His 20th home run of the year. 420 feet to dead center. It's 3-0 Washington. CJ knew at the moment he swung at that. I mean, he just struck a pose. First pitch on the way to Cruz is a sweeper right there on the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. Cruz 2 for 2 on the night. Ripped one to left his first time up. Slapped one to right his second time up. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Max brings it. Curveball way high out of the zone. 2-2. Max Fried, 67th pitch of the night. We're just in the fourth inning. Swing. That ball's hammered over to third, but Gio's got it, fires it over to first, and that'll end the inning. Washington put one on the board. It's 3-0. We'll head to the fifth, middle of the order, due up.
So come to find out, the barber that lives around the corner from me just got arrested for selling drugs. You just never know about people, man. I've been going to this dude for 12 years. Never knew he was a barber. It's crazy, man.
Here are some baseball facts you might not have known. Craig Biggio is remembered as a great contact hitter and one of the best Astros ever. In 1997, he played 162 games without grounding into a double play, becoming the only player to ever do that. Hunter Greene is an extremely exciting prospect for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of that excitement comes from his electric fastball. In his April 16th start against the Dodgers, he threw 39 pitches over 100 miles per hour, setting a new record.
Baseball had become one of the biggest entertainment industries in the country, and when war actually came in April, the owners saw no reason to stop playing.
With an astonishing disregard for the new proprieties and new decencies, the so-called magnates of baseball have proclaimed in both leagues their unswerving adherence to the wretched fallacy of business as usual. New York Times.
The owners argued that baseball should be declared an essential wartime industry so that players would be exempt from the draft. It didn't work.
July the 21st, 1918. Baseball received a knockout wallop yesterday when Secretary Baker ruled players in the draft age must obtain employment calculated to aid in the successful prosecution of the war or shoulder guns and fight.
Fresh recruits drilled on the Elysian Fields in Hoboken, New Jersey, where Brooklyn and Manhattan teams had developed the game of baseball 70 years before. Some ball players found jobs in defense industries where they were paid handsomely to play on company teams. But 247 major leaguers did serve, and 3 were killed in action.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way. Swung on, fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Matt Olson 0 for 1 on the night. Jake Irvin with the no-hitter going. He has walked, so the perfect game is gone, the 0-1. Swung on, popped up, high in the sky, into shallow left field, into foul territory. Vargas makes the catch. He was stumbling over his own feet, but he held up. The big grin on his face, went away. Not sure what he was stumbling over. I guess it was just gravity. I don't know. So one down. Righty-righty matchup. Arcia, first pitch high and inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing, chops it foul, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. 93 outside wide, 2-1. Braves will be off tomorrow. Then they head home for 4 against the Dodgers, while the Mets travel to Philadelphia, where they have been owned for the last several years. The 2-1. Swung on, chops it over to third. 5-3 put out, 2 away. The hopes is Merrifield could be back this weekend. That was with the original talk. I haven't heard any update on it, so could just be another false report. Laureano stands in. Righty-righty. First pitch to Ramon. 95 inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Irving kicks and deals. 94 misses, 2-0. Irvin, 56 pitches into the night. We're just in the 5th inning, so they're not working the count either. The 2-0 pitch. Another wide one, 3-0. He has been effectively wild. Braves have kind of bailed him out on a couple of favorable counts. Soler did work a walk last inning, the 3-0. 94 misses high and wide, given a bad strike call. My God. Ryan Addington missed that one. Well out of the zone, 3-1. Sean Murphy stands on deck. The 3-1. Swung on, foul straight back, full count. You can see it on the screen. That ball was high and wide of the zone on that 3-0. The 3-2. Swing, hit hard on the ground over to short. Abrams has it. Bad throw, and it'll be an E6, as he is known to do. C.J. Abrams, one of the worst fielding shortstops in all of baseball. We saw it last series with Abrams, where he kicked the ball all around the field. They hold on to him because he's a great bat. Just terrible with the glove. So we'll take the free base. Wasn't exactly a great attempt by Yepes either, but I'm sure Abrams would tell you that he deserves to own that, to wear that error. Sean Murphy, the batter, runner at second, as the ball got away into the dugout, so they'll give Laureano the extra base. Base hit would cut this to a 2-run lead. The 1-0 to Murph. 95 below the knees, called for a strike, 1-1. One count. Pitch high and inside, 2-1. Washington 3, Atlanta nothing. Top of the 5th inning. Irvin still nursing a no-hitter. The 2-1 swing. Lift it into left center field. That ball is going to get easily caught. Lazy fly ball towards the warning track, and that'll end the inning. Well, the Braves get another one on, but Murph can't come through. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
My daughter just asked me if she could turn the heat up in the house. I told her, hell no, you better go grab one of them hoodies you had on when it was 100 degrees outside.
I'm going to show you guys how to cook like a true Kentucky boy. All you need to start is some lithium batteries and some Sudafed.
Update! My house is gone! Usually when somebody invites me over to their house and I drive by and see more than 3 cars, I just usually go on home because I kind of feel like it could be an intervention.
MLB teams are required to apply a small dab of mud to the 13 dozen baseballs used during a standard MLB game. Every team has been muddying baseball since the 1950s, and they've used only one special type of mud, magic mud, found on the Delaware River in New Jersey, that provides the perfect grip. That mud has been harvested by one family for nearly 80 years. The mud takes 6 weeks to harvest and process. And the best part, only the Bentliff family knows the exact location of the magic mud.
Soldiers played ball in camps and on battleships, on fields in Flanders, and in hastily constructed ballparks throughout France. Grover Cleveland Alexander served in the trenches with an artillery unit and emerged from the fighting shell-shocked, his hearing damaged, drinking more heavily than ever to forget the horrors he had seen. Though Branch Rickey was 36 and had 4 children, he went to war too, became a major, and commanded a unit that included Captains Ty Cobb and Christy Mathewson. Cobb and Mathewson did not get to France until after the shooting stopped, but during a drill, Mathewson was exposed to poison gas that fatally seared his lungs. He would live for 7 more years, but his great career was over.
Braves Country Radio, pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Fried goes back to work out there. Hopefully he can keep it in the yard. Braves trail 3-0. Now the plus side of this, you can look at it, is another below average team is a nice way we can put it. Had a no-hitter going into the 9th inning today, and they blew it and lost the game. Unraveled, gave up 6-7 runs as the Mets came back and beat the Blue Jays. First pitch on the way to Chaparro is swung on and chopped foul. It's 0-1. Yankees and Royals tied at 0 apiece in the 3rd. The 0-1 brings it 1-1. Change up, misses wide and down. One count. Max Fried swung on. That ball's ripped into left field. That ball's down for a base hit. Laureano cuts it off, comes up. Doesn't have a chance to fire it to cut off the runner this time at second, so he'll just flip it into the infield, and it's a leadoff double. Max Fried not pitching well at all tonight. I think fans have to remember these outings in December and January when they start talking about wanting to give Max Fried the sun and the stars to sign him in free agency. First pitch on the way to Abrams is swatted back foul. It's 0-1. Don't get me wrong, Max is a good pitcher, but he's not going to be worth that $35 million average that he's going to be asking for. The 0-1. Lefty. Fried brings it. Swing, chops it foul. 0-2. Wood 1 for 2 on the night. It's about that time to start turning back time. We'll squeeze these in as we go along here on Braves Country Radio. An 0-2 to Wood. Max turns back, looks at the runner. Outside wide 1-2. The 1-2. Swing, fouls it back. Just got a piece of that sweeper. We'll do it again. On this date in 1886, Roger Connor became the first and only player to hit a ball out of the original Polo Grounds at 110th Street and 5th Avenue. The Giants' first baseman receives a $500 gold watch from stockbrokers in the area for the accomplishment. The 1-2 swung on. That ball gets drilled into left field. Laureano can't hold on to it. A diving attempt. So it'll be a single. The runner at second had to hold up. He'll stop at third, and it's runners on the corners. Nobody out. Difficult dying quail that you would have liked to have seen him held on to. He got to it, just popped out of his glove. So now runners on the corners, nobody out. They should Snicker over there hiding in the corner, leaned up against. I think he's asleep. First pitch on the way, chopped over to short. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, but the Nationals will take it as they build it to a 4-0 lead. Little surprised they didn't have the infield in on that one. So 2 down and the bases are now clear. First pitch on the way. Up top for a strike. Titania, lefty-lefty matchup. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks and fires. In the dirt, 1-1. One count. Two down. Max Fried about to throw his 79th pitch of the night. Brings it. Swing. Lifts it down the left field line. If it's fair, it's problems. Instead, it bends into the seat. Foul, 1-2. On this date in 1902, in Braves history, in the bottom of the 11th inning, John Malarkey hits a game-ending home run off of St. Louis. The Bean Eaters, one of the many names that the original Boston Red Stockings have held, win the game 4-3. The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. Braves trail 4-0. Malarkey becomes the first pitcher in baseball history to earn a victory by hitting a walk-off home run.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I could fall out of a tree and walk it off like it was nothing. Now, if I sleep wrong, I can't turn my head to the left for a whole week.
This is weak, man. Frank's trying to not pay me my winnings for the Skins beatdown I just issued him because his 401k's tanking. It's like, dude, you gotta grab the reins, man. Do some analytics, do some research, and take charge so I don't have to subsidize your lack of golfing skills.
Then the night total, you moved your ball.
Frank, it was on the cart path. Why don't you try reading the rules, Shankopotamus?
If you don't like me, just say that. Okay, I don't like you. Why would you say that? It's so mean.
Never kiss mom on dad's birthday.
Armchair.
September 6, 1918. Far different from any incident that has ever occurred in the history of baseball was the great moment of the first World Series game between the Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox. As the crowd of 19,274 spectators stood up to take the afternoon yawn, the band broke forth to the strains of the Star-Spangled Banner as the ball players turned quickly about and faced the music. And when the final notes came, a great volume of melody rolled across the field. The onlookers exploded into thunderous applause.
The wartime crowd sang so enthusiastically that the performance was repeated at every game of the series. From then on, the song was an integral part of the national pastime. It did not become the official national anthem until 1931. The Red Sox won the World Series that year, beating the Chicago Cubs 4-2. One of the series stars was the young pitcher Babe Ruth, who had won both his starts, including a masterful 1-0 shutout. It was Boston's 4th World Championship in the decade.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Let's get some runs, Braves Country. Gavin Biggio leads us off. First pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Irvin, no-hitter through 5 innings. Righty-lefty matchup. He has walked one, and there has been an error. The 1-0 swing. That ball's hammered down the right field line, but plenty foul. 1-1. Biggio struck out looking his first at bat as an Atlanta Brave. The 1-1 swung on, chopped foul. 1-2. I was a little surprised that Biggio was called up. He hasn't really done anything, and Luke Williams, who hasn't played great, has actually had really good defense. The 1-2 misses high. 2-2. 2-2 count. Red Sox and Orioles are tied at 1 in the top of the 4th. The pitch, swing, pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn. Who wants it? Abrams will make the catch. It's an adventure every time with that guy defensively. He almost blew that catch. Like a lazy can of corn, about the easiest play you can ever make, and he struggled with it. 1 away. They got to make him just a DH and call it a night. Urshela steps in, swings at the first pitch, and fouls it back. It's 0-1. Gio Urshela 0 for 1 on the night. He struck out swinging his first time up. Standing on deck is Harris. The 0-1. Chopped back to the mound. Easy. 1-3 put out, 2 down. Two down. We knew this was going to be a tough matchup because Irvin has pitched well against the Braves all year long. Talked about it in the Braves Country Today on Monday. That first game of the series was going to be critical because Max has been up and down all year long, and Irvin has just absolutely shoved against Atlanta. But still a long way to go in this one, but you're just glad that you got the first game of the series. Would have liked to have saved some of those runs. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Schwellenbach will be the pitcher on Friday night. The 1-1, swing lifted into right center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Harris rounding first, heading to second. And the no-no is no-mo with a 2-out double by Money Mike. Let's go, Braves Country. See what Irvin can do with some ducks on the pond. Brings Jorge Soler to the plate. He's 0 for 1, but he did walk his last time up. Though Zuna standing on deck, you would think he'll get something to hit. First pitch. 94 below the knees, called for a low strike. It's not indicative of what you're seeing on the screen. What you're seeing on the screen dropped that about 3 to 4 inches below, and that's where the ball actually landed. The 0-1. Inside almost gets him. 1-1. Home plate umpire Ryan Addison. It's called a fairly decent game, but he called that same bum sinker strike on Jorge the last time up. The 1-1. Swung on, lifted into center field. That ball is going to get over the head of the center fielder. That gets down where the green grass grows. 1 run will score, and Jorge Soler with the little Soler power rips it over the head of Jacob Young. The Braves have cut it to 4-1. Good hard hit ball. It's kind of Jorge Soler's wheelhouse. You get a ball up in the zone like that, he can rip it with the best of them. So runner in scoring position again. Runner at second, 2 outs. First pitch on the way to Ozuna. He's in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Jake Irvin, 78 pitches into the night. By the way, Frieda's at 80. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Chased a curveball in the dirt. 1-1. Matt Olson stands on deck. He represents the tying run. Ozuna 0 for 2 with a ground out and a double play to his scorecard. The 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1. 95-mile-an-hour sinker. This one too low for him to bend the zone and call it a strike. It's strange. The 3D has been doing very well in the beginning of showing you where the ball is, but not tonight. The 2-1. Down and in. 3-1. Tonight, I mean, that one there shows that it actually hit the zone. It was 3 inches below the zone. In the dirt, in fact. 3-1 to Ozuna. Righty. Irvin brings it. Taking a curveball all the way at the knees, 3-2. I think Ozuna was sitting dead red. If he didn't get it, he wasn't swinging. So a full count. Braves 1 run across. Soler standing at second. A base hit would score him. The payoff pitch to the zoo. Swing, lifts it foul. Probably chased one a bit out of the zone, but too close to take. It's the last meeting of the Braves and the Nationals this season. The payoff pitch brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Definitely chased that one well out of the zone. About eye level. We'll head to break. The Braves put one on the board. We got ourselves a ball game again here in Washington.
Last night I dreamed I was a bottle of ketchup and you were mustard, which is weird because usually you're mayonnaise in my dreams. Why do you suppose that is?
Those who own dogs, you know that every time you come back from wherever you went, the dog is happy and it's jumpy and it wants to lick you in the face. Even if you just went to get mail from the mailbox, they delight in your return. If you want to take them out for a car ride, they're the first in the car. They jump in. They don't care where it's going, but they're going somewhere. They're some of the most joyous creatures that live among us. Dogs don't live as long as we do. Every single day a dog lives is equivalent to a week of your life. If they only get 1 day for every week you're alive, they make every day count. I'm just suggesting that their lives have already factored in their mortality. When I look at a dog, I use that as a reminder of how I should live every day of my life.
While the Angels now have their own stadium in Anaheim, they used to play their home games at Dodger Stadium. In the early 1960s, the Angels were a brand new team and had to share the stadium with the Dodgers because a dedicated field had not been built for them. Eventually, in 1966, the Angels got their own ballpark.
Who is he anyhow? An actor? No. A dentist? No. He's a gambler. Then added, he's the man who fixed the World Series back in 1919. Fixed the World Series, I repeated. The idea staggered me. It never occurred to me that one man could start to play with the faith of 50 million people with the single-mindedness of a burglar blowing a safe. How did he happen to do that? He just saw the opportunity. Why isn't he in jail? They can't get him, old sport. He's a smart man.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Max Fried takes curveball, start off the inning. Right there on the outer edge to Ruiz, it's 0-1. The 0-1. outside wide, 1-1. Ruiz 1 for 2 with a double, 13 home runs on the year. The pitch up top for a strike, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Brings it. Swing. Chops it over to first. Olsen has it. He'll step on the bag. 1 away. One down. Braves Country Today will come your way Friday, shooting for 12:20 Eastern. Catch it on YouTube or on Facebook, Braves Country Radio. First pitch on the way, curveball outside wide. It's 1-0. We'll go over the Dodgers series. Take a look at where we stand in the playoffs come Friday. I mean, I know this isn't a newsflash, but this is going to be a grind. We're not winning this division, or winning this wild card, or losing it in the very near future. It's going to take an absolute day after day, 17-game push. The 2-0, outside wide, 3-0. The way it stands right now, Schwellenbach, Sale, Morton, and Fried are due to pitch in that series, the 3-0. Right down the pipe, 3-1 on the outside. Because of the built-in day off, they'll just skip Ronaldo Lopez's start, and they'll move Sale up and Morton, along with Fried, up a day. The 3-1 is right there for a strike on the intercut, 3-2. Full count to Vargas, 0 for 2 on the day. Fried brings it. Curveball swung on, slaps it over to second. Biggio's got it, fires it to first, 2 down. The way it looks right now for the Dodgers, and of course, it won't be in stone until Friday, but right now it's supposed to be. By the way, just a programming note, Friday night, if you haven't seen already, it's an Apple TV game. So you're not going to be able to get it on Bally's or anything. First pitch on the way is outside wide and high. It's 1-0. We'll have it here, but as far as your traditional television cast, it's only on Apple. The 1-0 on the outer edge, 1-1. It'll be Landon Knack, who's a rookie, but he's pitched pretty well for the Dodgers. And then we'll get Flaherty, Buehler, and Yamamoto. He is back off the IL. Pitched last night. Pitched okay. I mean, they're easing him in. It'll be a second start against Atlanta on Monday, and I would say they'd be shooting for 4 to 5 innings out of him. So we're not going to get the elite Yamamoto, which could help, but Max Fried's going to pitch in that game, so who knows? The 1-2. Fried brings it. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll end the inning. 94 pitches. That'll probably be it for Max. He gutted through just a bumpy performance. We'll head to the 7th, trailing by 3.
Y'all, I can't wait for my kids to move out and invite me over for dinner. I'm going to say I don't want that and throw some in the air fryer, eat 2 bags of chips, drink a whole bottle of water and leave it on the table, turn on all the lights and walk away, leaving a complete mess behind me.
The longer you wait on the ball, the better you see it. The better you see it, the harder you hit it. The harder you hit it, the higher your average is. The higher your average is, the more money you make. And the more money you make, the more you're going to get laid.
In a 1947 college baseball game between Yale and Fordham, each team had a very notable player. The first baseman for Yale was future President George H.W. Bush, and the Fordham center fielder was legendary Dodgers announcer Vin Scully. H.W. Bush and Yale would go on to win the game 3-1. Who do you think had the most hits in the 1990s? Some names that may come to mind are Tony Gwynn, Ken Griffey Jr., or even Barry Bonds. The answer is actually Cubs first baseman Mark Grace with 1,754 hits in the 90s.
In 1919, no team played better than the Chicago White Sox, pennant winners in the American League, and few teams were paid as poorly. or got along as badly. Players deliberately crossed each other on the field. During infield practice, no one threw the ball to second baseman Eddie Collins, Chicago's highest-paid player all season long. Teammate Chick Gandil had not spoken to Collins since 1915. "I thought you couldn't win without teamwork," Collins said later, "until I joined the White Sox. Yet somehow we won 100 games and the pennant that year." The White Sox were heavy favorites to beat the better-paid but far weaker Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. The Chicago owner was the old Roman, Charles A. Comiskey, himself a former player, but now among the game's most parsimonious executives.
They were abused horribly by Charles Comiskey, who was a man of a small mind, a tight fist, and a nasty temperament. The climate was too good for it not to happen.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail this one by 3. We head to 7. They showed Max Fried going in the dugout, waking up Snicker and talking about what happened. Probably catching him up to speed. Matt Olson leads us off. First pitch on the way. We got a new pitcher as well, Law. We've seen him before, the right-hander. Fires a curveball outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1. Nats 4, Braves 1. The 2-1 pitch, outside wide, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, swing. That ball slapped into left field. That's down for a base hit. Let's get it going, Braves country. Matt Olson with the leadoff single to start the 7th. Pitch was on the outside part of the plate, and he just went with it. Knocked it over the third baseman's head and into left field. First pitch on the way to Lando Arcia, swung on, line drive to short. Easy out, 1 down. Chase went off the edge. It was a slider that was just on the outside part of the plate. So he was able to make contact, but weak contact. And Abrams makes the backhanded catch, 1 down. First pitch on the way. Laureano, they call that a strike up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. 95 out wide. 1-1. Laureano 0 for 2. He did get into one that was caught running back towards the wall earlier. Batting .252 with the .723 OPS, 8 home runs. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Chase that slider. Out and away, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Pitch on the way to Laureano. Swing. That ball's hit hard down the left field line. That's going to get through where the green grass grows. Here comes Laureano bending around first, heading to second. We've got runners on second and third. 1 out. A single would cut this to a 1-run lead. Hard hit ball into the corner. So Olson's at third. Laureano's at second. Sean Murphy, swings the first pitch. Bangs it off the plate. It's 0-1. Standing on deck is Biggio. On the bench, just to keep you up to date, it's Duvall, Kelnick, Merrifield, Tromp, and White. As they go one down away, 1-1. I don't believe Merrifield is available. It's a little strange they haven't made him unactive. You can do that with the expanded rosters, but they haven't. Maybe because it was a road series. I don't know. The 1-1 swung on, chopped foul, 1-2. But as far as who could play second base, if you decided at some point to pinch hit for Biggio, Eli White appears to be the only option. Tromp is the only option behind the plate. Was the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chase that one well off the plate. What a terrible at bat, 2 away. That pitch was pitch out territory, easily 6 to 8 inches off the plate, and he just dove at it. I mean, that's not even a big league at bat. Biggio comes on. First pitch on the way, down and in for a ball, 1-0. Travis d'Arnaud is still on paternity leave. He's expected to probably be back on Friday, though you can take a full 5 days. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. 89 up top. Slider, 1-1. I thought we were going to see Tromp catch tonight, to be honest. I thought they would give Murphy a day off, and I would have liked to have seen what Tromp could have done at the plate. The 1-1 swung on, pops it up. Lazy fly ball. Who wants it? The left fielder will easily snag it, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves threaten and get to a 4-1 lead. Can't do anything, and Murphy has got to take a seat. It is ridiculous.
Hey, quick question. And I feel stupid for asking, but when you're stirring up some do you go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Today we are discussing the career of George Brett. He is most known for the Pine Tar game that occurred on July 24th, 1983. He twice collected 4 hits in a postseason game. Even more impressive, he batted .370 in the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. This included his Game 7 4-for-5 performance. Overall, in the postseason, he batted .337 with a 1.023 OPS in 43 games. In 1980, he nearly became the first player to hit 400 since Ted Williams in 1941. On September 19th, with 13 games left, he went 2-for-4, raising his average to exactly 400. He won the American League MVP award in 1980. He finished with a 300 or better average in 11 of his 21 seasons. Over his 21-year career, he batted .305 with 317 home runs and 1,596 RBI. He had 3,154 hits and had a career WAR of 88.6. He was a 13-time All-Star, won 1 Gold Glove, and won 6 Silver Sluggers. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1999 with 98.2% of the vote.
It certainly was a kind of have and have not thing. The baseball players were very expendable. If you got hurt, you were gone. There was no pension or anything else like that. And they saw people making money hand over fist. The owners, in Comiskey's case, he owned the ballpark. He bottled his own soda in the basement. He was making a nickel on everything that went, that moved in that ballpark. And there they were, they were nicknamed the Black Sox even before they threw the World Series because one year he started charging them for laundering their uniforms. And they went on strike by saying, okay, then we won't launder them. And they got dirtier and dirtier and dirtier until the sports writers called them the Black Sox. And then, in fact, Comiskey said, okay, I'll launder your uniforms. And then he took it out of their World Series bonus.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Braves trail 4-1. And it really is unbelievable at this point that they keep putting Murphy anywhere near. 8th is the absolute highest he should bat. I would love to know the reason why Biggio was brought up and Luke Williams sent down. Because I haven't seen anything out of Biggio that tells you he's deserves to start over Luke Williams. Not that Luke Williams setting the world on fire. Trail by 3. We'll have 6 more outs to try to get him back. But Murphy, I mean, God bless. I'm telling you, for those of y'all who can't see it, it was 6 to 8 inches off the plate easily, that pitch that he swung at. You got runners at second and third and 1 out. You've got to at least get one of those runs home. A fly ball, anything. And we've talked about this before, but the third base coach, Toohey, I believe he's got to be more aggressive because their bats are so bad this year. You got to take more risks and hope something happens. First pitch on the way from Daysbel Hernandez, who comes in for Max Fried, whose night is done. First pitch, they said that Abrams went around, it's 0-1. Hernandez taking the spot of Raylo, who went to the IL this morning. The 0-1 misses, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. 98-mile-an-hour fastball misses high, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, fouls it back, 2-2. Braves 1, Washington 4, bottom of the 7th, the 2-2. Swung on, chop foul, we'll do it again. You know, Eli White, who can play second base, I don't know why they're not giving him an opportunity, because the 2-2, caught, looking, strike 3, slider at the top of the zone, 1 away. Eli played second the other day. He played it fine, and he gives you professional at bats. He also gives you the option of being able to drop a bunt down, use his speed. If they wanted to bring Biggio up, okay, but why is Eli White not getting the start and Biggio's getting it? First pitch on the way to Cruz. Dylan Cruz, who's 2 for 3 on the night, misses outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0, swing and a miss, 2-0. Yeah, you can say that again, Mark. That Contreras trade, I mean, I know we've beaten that to death, but that's by far the worst trade the Braves have made in recent memory. The 1-1, up top for a strike, 1-2. The whole idea behind that was you were supposed to be getting an elite defensive catcher, and that has not shown. He's not terrible, but he's not above any of the others that we've seen. 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, swing, chops it back, foul, do it again. Kansas City leads New York 1-0. They're in the 6th inning. The 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. The 2-2 count. Standing on deck behind Cruz is Chaparro, the designated hitter. Wood would reach if anybody could get on. 1-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. Slider up top, 2 away. I remember we were doing the live radio show when that trade went down, and I just remember being stunned because the one guy I didn't want to lose was like, wait a minute, we're getting rid of Contreras? What the hell are we doing? First pitch on the way to Chaparro, misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0 from Hernandez, 99 up top. Misses high, 2-0. 2-0 count. Wild Bill could really, he'd be batting cleanup in the lineup right now. The 2-0. Outside wide 3-0. Bare minimum be batting fifth, and it wouldn't be a forced batting fifth like when they put RC or Murphy there. The 3-0, 97 right down on the outer edge, 3-1. Y'all haven't paid attention. He's been tearing it up for the Milwaukee Brewers. The 3-1 pitch. Swing. Pops it up. High in the sky. In foul territory. Coming over making the catch is Matt Olson in between home and third. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll grab the bats. Be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Hey, just a reminder, drugs don't ruin careers. Drug tests do.
Larry Bird never had a bad season. 3-time MVP consecutively. Only player in NBA history to do that. Only small forward to average 10 rebounds for his career. He's the only one. No flaws in his game. His peak was incredible. 24, 10, and 6 are his career averages on damn near 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. So not only was Larry a great scorer, but he was also a great facilitator, great passer, solid defender, and he was a hell of a rebounder. No flaws in his game.
There's a somebody out there for everybody. And the person for you is a psychiatrist.
She was probably, I'm sorry, can you stop breathing so loud, honey? He's like, breathe quietly.
Comiskey's first baseman, Chick Gandil, a former hobo and one-time club fighter, was tired of it. He was nearing the end of his career and wanted one shot at some really big money. For the right money, Gandil let it be known, he would be willing to talk some of his teammates into throwing the series. There was nothing new in working closely with gamblers to throw games. Many players supplemented their incomes that way. The brilliant infielder Hal Chase had made something of a career of it. But throwing the World Series was something else again. Still, Gandil was determined. And now, the right money was found. An ex-boxer, Abe Attell, and Sleepy Bill Burns, a one-time White Sox pitcher, served as go-between. But behind it all was New York's most notorious gambler, Arnold Rothstein, who was said to be willing to bet on anything except the weather, because there was no way he could fix that.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves need 3 runs to tie this one as we head to the top of the 8th. It'll be Gio, the number 9 hitter, followed by the number 1 hitter, Michael Harris and Jorge Soler. They will face Ferrer, the left-hander, new to the game. First pitch on the way, 97 up top, misses high, called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, fouls it away. 0-2. Bringing it 98 miles an hour. It's got an ERA of 3.92 in 20 innings. 18 strikeouts. The 0-2. Make it 19. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by Gio. 1 away. This will be interesting. Michael Harris II coming to the plate. He does not fare well against lefties, and this guy can bring it. Jose Ferrer, 24-year-old from the Dominican. First pitch on the way to Michael. Swung on, chops it over to third, over towards short. It'll get to. Abrams will field it. He'll throw it to first, but he does not have the arm to get Michael Harris, and that will be an infield single. Perfectly placed chopper. Didn't get a lot of it, but it bounced just past the third baseman. Vargas, who's kind of playing out of position. He normally came up playing second. He's moved over to third as he's gotten older. That's why Tena is playing second tonight. Jorge Soler Man, if Jorge Soler could get a hold of one of these fastballs from Ferrer, that thing might come crashing through one of your windows. Soler stands in, lefty-righty matchup. This is going to be power versus power. First pitch on the way, 98 inside. 1-0. Jorge had to kind of jump out of the way. Wasn't that close to him, but 98 coming near your knees, it'll wake you up. The 1-0 brings it. 98 right there at the knees, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Jorge's going to call a timeout. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a double. His last time on, he scorched one over the center fielder's head to bring home the first run of the game. The 1-1. Swing. That ball slapped down the right field line. Just foul. Just foul. That would have been extra bases for sure. It might have even scored Michael because that ball was going to roll into the corner. And they're playing Soler to pull. The right fielder would have had a mile to get there. 2 inches maybe? Foul of the line? It chopped in fair territory, and right before it got to the bag, it bounced into foul. The 1-2. Down and in, 2-2. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's hammered into left field. That's down for a base hit. We'll go station to station as the ball was scalded into left field. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And Marcelo Zuna is coming to the plate. The big Zoo could tie it with 1 swing. He got on top of that fastball and raked it. So here we go again. Another chance to put some runs on the board. It's the Braves' 6th hit of the night. They've all come in the last few innings. Irvin had a no-hitter going against Atlanta. Marcelo Zuna is 0 for 3 on the night. Lefty-righty, there was a quick mound visit by everyone, and here's the pitch. 96 up top, blew it right up top, taken all the way, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, that ball's lifted high, down the right field line, bending, making the catch, in foul territory, in right field. Here comes the throw to third. Harris will move up, but there's now 2 away. So runners on the corners now and 2 outs. Ozuna touched behind that one. Gave it a ride. Thought it might get into the seats in foul territory, but it just stayed fair. Marcelo Ozuna middle of his power outage. His last 15 games, his OPS is just under 700, which is unlike Marcel. First pitch on the way to Olsen is 99 at the knees. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Like to at least get the runner at third home. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Orlando Arcia stands on deck. Red Sox lead the Orioles 2-1 in the 6th. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 99. Right by him. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Tying run standing at home plate. The pitch in the dirt. Good block by Ruiz. He saved a run on that one. 2-2. That ball short hopped right in front of the catcher's left leg. Kind of O-laid it, was lucky enough to get a hold of it. If not, that ball kicks away and Harris is at home and Solaire's at second. The 2-2 swung on, chops it back to the mound. That'll be an easy 1-3 put out. That'll end the inning. Braves threaten but can't get the big hit, the clutch hit. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I just remember, like, in 1998, when the internet blew up and everyone was all freaked out about it, and they were like, keep your information off the internet. And we were like, yeah, for sure. And, like, now, a stranger can literally just pull up to us in an alley and roll down the window, say our name, and we're like, oh, thank God. Can you take me to where I live?
Pete Schneider was a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds from 1914 to 1918. On May 23, 1923, he had one of the greatest nights a baseball player can have. In that game, he was the starting right fielder for Vernon of the Pacific Coast League at Salt Lake City. In his first at-bat in the first inning, he hit a 2-run home run. Vernon batted around in the third, and once again, he would come up to the plate, this time with the bases loaded. With one swing, he unloaded them with a grand slam. In just 3 innings, he had 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. In the 4th inning, he again hit a home run, this time a 3-run home run. His next at-bat came in the 6th. He just missed another home run when he hit a double off the very top of the center field wall. In the 7th inning, he hit his 4th home run and 2nd grand slam of the game, raising his home run total to 4 and his RBI total to 13. Vernon would bat around again, and Schneider would come to the plate again in the 7th, this time with the bases empty. He hit another home run. His last at-bat came in the 9th. His last at-bat resulted in a flyout to center field. He ended the game with 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. What a performance. Oh yeah, and his team ended up winning the game 35-11.
Rothstein was basically a guy who never gambled. You know, he's known as a gambler, and he never gambled on anything in his life, which is why he got very, very wealthy. He only put money ostensibly gambling on things that he knew were a sure thing or that he had covered so well that there was no way that he couldn't make a profit. I don't think he really cared about sports. I think he really did cynically feel like, well, these guys are schmucks. They're going to be old men, and I'm still going to be making money off this game when they just have to pay to get into the stadium.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Daysbel Hernandez will pitch the 9th inning here. Braves trail by 3. First pitch on the way to C.J. Abrams. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's James Wood. Swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty-lefty. Swing and a miss. 99 up top. 0-2. Not only do they have the same hairdo, their batting stances are very similar. I was about to say, man, it seems like this guy comes up every inning. I realized, wait a minute, that's Wood. The 0-2. Hernandez, this will be his 20th pitch. 99 misses high and wide. 1-2. Yankees have taken a 2-1 lead off of a Juan Soto 2-run home run over the Kansas City Royals. The 1-2. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Wood, Yepes, and Tena are due up in this inning. The 1-2. Caught, looking, strike 3. 97 on the inner black. 1 away. Good pitch by Hernandez. I have not figured this out all year long, why he has been in the minor leagues. And we've had guys like Luke Jackson out there kicking the ball around. Every time he comes up, he pitches well. He's got good stuff. First pitch on the way. Down and away, it's 1-0. And he's got to be a part of the big plans of the Braves next year. Some of these guys hitting free agency. The 1-0. Swung on, foul back, 1-1. Mark says, can you imagine if we sign Soto? It'll never happen, but you never know. I know, Mark. I know very well. We won't sign him. The 1-1. Down and away. Did he go around? He did not. 2-1. You can take that to the bank. 2-1 count. Batter takes a timeout. First of all, what's he going to do? Play shortstop? It's like, and the Braves all of a sudden are going to throw $500 million at somebody? Yeah, right. 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. This is like last year when I told everyone, trust me, you can go ahead and throw all your dreams away. Shohei Ohtani's not coming to Atlanta. The 2-2. Right there, first strike. Just got a piece of it. Stay alive. The 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Chops it over to short. Should be an easy play for Orlando. It is. 6-3 in your scorecard. 2 down. Do you want to dream about getting like a solid shortstop that can hit somewhere close to the 280 range? Juan Yepes, who's 2 for 3, stands in. First pitch misses high. It's 1-0. We have as much chance of signing Juan Soto as we do to getting a trade for Patrick Mahomes. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled back, 1-1. One count. Righty lefty. 99 inside, misses 2-1. The 2-1 pitch in the dirt, 3-1. Three-one from Hernandez, swung on, fouled straight back, four-seam fastball. So a full count. Braves trail by 3. Still have a chance with this Nationals bullpen. The payoff pitch, swing, hit hard in the ground, over on the right side through the hole, and it's a 2-out single for the Nationals. Good hard hit ball. It was on the fastball in the inner cut. He just got a turn on it and was able to knock it through the infield. I'm hoping by Friday we have some good news. Hopefully we have some Whit Merrifield back. That's what he talked about, being able to play by the Dodger series. I still got to see that to believe it. And you would think we'll get some kind of an update. They've been so quiet on the Ozzie Albies things. I'm assuming that Austin Riley can only come back in October. The 0-1. Runner goes. Throw in the dirt. Murphy. Guess the runner faked the go because he ended up back at first. Murphy jumped up like he was going to throw. Runner retreated to first. They didn't have the camera on, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing, lifted high. Back out of play, 1-2. The belief is that Travis d'Arnaud will be back by Friday. The 1-2 in the dirt. Backhanded, runner goes. Throw down to second. Another stolen base. So a 2-2 count. Throw is in the dirt is a difficult one to handle. But when your catcher's not hitting, it just drives you crazy how they just run at will on them. Runner at second. 2 outs. The 2-2. Swatted back foul. Do it again. I thought it was funny when they were talking about Soto possibly coming back to Washington. I just don't see that. The way that ended, and this is a Washington team that's trying to build for the future with a young team. You're not going to throw $500 million at one player. Just makes no sense. The 2-2 swung on, lifts it high into right field. That ball's going to get down for a base hit, and that'll be another run. Soler, and he just doesn't run well, and to have him in right field, that essentially costs you the run. If you have a normal right fielder over there, they probably gets to that one, but nonetheless, it's 5-1. Off the end of the bat, they have Soler playing so deep. Laureano or Duvall probably gets to that. They're going to get Hernandez out of the game. I'm not sure why, but we'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Coming in, it's our good friend Aaron Bummer. Bottom of the 8th, Braves trail by 4. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Just thought I'd brighten y'all's day. Those are our puppies. One on the right celebrating her 3rd birthday yesterday. That was the pictures my wife took. And if the Braves come back from this will be you know, superstitions go. We'll have to do that, make that a thing. Aaron Bummer comes on. Try to put out the final out of the game. Defensively, first pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul. 0-1. Vargas, the batter, he's 0 for 3. The 0-1. Sweeper outside wide. No, they're both girls. So a 1-1 count, swung on, chopped foul. 1-2. Washington 5, Atlanta 1, bottom of the 8th. If you're just joining us, Max Fried just did not have it tonight, and the Braves bat's cold once again. They had a couple opportunities late in the game. Irvin had a no-hitter going all the way until midway through the game when the Braves finally broke it up, but they've had several opportunities, just couldn't get the extra runs home. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Bummer puts out the fire, and that'll end the inning. Well, we got one last chance, Braves Country. Let's get the bats hot and win this one tonight.
Here I was thinking I was copping some straight up gas, but now I'm looking at it, and it is obvious that I have been gas lit, dude. Because that is not good. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get lit off that gas, not gas lit.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive, but I see their wives and they just look like so, like, you know, like, not like this. I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up. And I just come to this realization today.
Shut up, Fred! Shut up! Let's go! Bryce, I've been sitting here for 9 innings with you! Oh, they lose 1 game! They've lost 5! They've lost 5 out of the last 6! They're falling apart! The Braves never lose!
Armchair.
The proposition to throw the World Series was first brought to me in New York City in front of the Ansonia Hotel. Chick Gandil came to me and said he wanted a conference. He asked me if anybody had approached me on the 1919 World Series with the purpose of fixing. I told him not yet. He asked me if it was fixed, would I be willing to get in and go through with it. I told him I would refuse to answer. Right then, Lefty Williams.
Gandil recruited 6 teammates. Pitcher Claude Lefty Williams. Outfielder Oscar Happy Felch. Third baseman Buck Weaver. Shortstop Swede Risberg. Right-handed pitcher Eddie Cicotti. And the idol of schoolboys all over the Midwest, Joseph Jefferson Jackson.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Los Bravos trail 5-1. Finnegan comes on. He's the closer, but he is coming in with a 4-run lead. He's got a 3.47 ERA, but I swear I never see this guy give up a run. Like, you always see these crooked lines he gives up right before he plays the Braves, and then he's lights out. First pitch on the way to RC is 97. P at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Arcia, 0 for 3. Takes the 0-1 down and away. 1-1. You know, you're building this lineup tonight. Arcia has been ice cold. And they put him at the number 5 spot. Right behind Matt Olson. So there's no... If you're in the middle of a rally, like, why wouldn't you pitch around Olson to get to Arcia? At least Ramon Laureano's put the charge into some balls and gotten some base hits. Much higher average as well. The 1-1, down and away, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Righty. Finnegan brings it. Swing and a miss. 98 blew it right by him. 2-2. He's always so off balance, too, when he swings and misses. Like, you just know that's just the sign of a guy who does not have good mechanics. The 2-2. Finnegan comes set, brings it. Swung on, fouled back. Do it again. The only thing we can say positive about it is that we didn't spend $27 million a year to get the same kind of production, which is what Dansby Swanson's given to Chicago. The 2-2 brings it. Swing, pops it up. Another lazy fly ball. He flips his bat dramatically. 1 away. One down. Ramon Laureano, the batter. First pitch, 97 up top. 0-1. Looks like Salvador Perez just hit a solo shot to tie up the Yankees and the Royals. They're in the 7th. Both teams fighting for playoff berths. The 0-1. Swatted back foul, 0-2. Top of the ninth, Braves trail by 4. Down to our final 2 outs. The 0-2 brings it. Swing! That ball's blasted down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, but it looks like it's going to bend just foul. It landed several feet left of the foul pole, but as it crossed over towards the foul pole, it missed pay dirt by just a few feet. The 0-2 to Laureano. Probably won't see that pitch again. Brings it. 97 just below the knees. I don't know how that's not a strike, because all night long, Addington has been calling very low strikes. And that one was higher than most of those. The 1-2. Kixon brings it. 98 caught looking, strike 3. Can't look at all of them. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on all those pitches. 2 away. Braves down to their last out. Braves head home after this. We're off tomorrow. Then 7:20 first pitch. 4 consecutive night games. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. The pitch. Down and away. Splitter misses to Murphy. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. 97 below the knees, called for a strike, 1-1. Same exact spot that he just called a ball to Laureano. And it is a ball, both of them, but he's been calling low strikes all night long. The 1-1. Lets her rip, swing and a miss, 1-2. So Murphy and the Braves are down to their final strike, the final out of the night. The 1-2. Murphy 0 for 3 with a ground out, line out, strikeout. The pitch from Finnegan. Kicks and fires, swing, fouls it straight back, 97 miles an hour. We'll do it again. One-two count. 16th pitch of the inning for Finnegan. The pitch on the way in the dirt, 2-2. 2-2 count. Looks like, by the way, we were going to do the Sunday night, not the Saturday night game this week. The 2-2. Outside wide, 3-2. We'll talk more about that on Friday's show and during the broadcast, but it looks like we're going to bring you the Sunday night ESPN game and not the Saturday night game. Less interest on the Sunday night cast. The 3-2 swung on, foul back. Do it again. Sunday night NFL is Chicago and Texas. Chicago and the Texans says kind of a dull matchup. So looks like that's the game we're going to bring you, where the Georgia Bulldogs and other teams are playing Saturday night. So looks like that's what we're going to do. The payoff pitch, check swing, foul down the line. We'll do it again. Murphy still down to the last strike. If he gets on, you would probably pinch run. The payoff pitch, swing, chops it over to third. Should be an easy play. It is. 5-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. That'll end the game. Braves drop a tough one. The offense, once again, just does not show up. Max Fried didn't have it tonight, but he was not bailed out at all by his offense. Atlanta Braves scattered 6 hits through 9 innings, but did not get a base hit until midway through. Jake Irvin's going to get the W. Max Fried's going to get another loss. The Braves are going to drop a game behind the New York Mets in the wild card race. We'll have tomorrow off. We'll see you Friday. The hope is 12:20. If not, it'll be somewhere in that neighborhood for Braves Country today. And then 7:20 Friday night, the Dodgers come a-calling, Schwellenbach on the mound. Y'all have a great night, Braves Country, and remember once again to never forget 9/11, 23 years ago.